Up there with Rebecca on her first Christmas back when she was 10 months old.
I really only have my hat on, and not many people know me unless I got my hat on. Yeah, he's showing his face now. Look at that. Has Mother and Daddy been up here since she moved up here? Since y'all come up here?
They were up here yesterday after they come home.
They got no business.
I know. Have you ever heard yourself talk after you've been on something like this? Have you ever heard yourself think?
Oh, I think since I've seen this, y'all made some more when I was up here once before.
But have you ever seen it played back?
Oh, no.
We'll play it back a bit.
It don't seem like it's been over 5 or 6 years since you had this, since you was about this size. You were born at Baylor, wasn't you?
I think so.
And Steve was born at McKinney.
Randy was born at Baylor too.
Well, I remember who you were born because Randy went over to Haggard's.
Which Haggard?
Horn.
Oh, yeah, what was the girl's name that always kept us?
Oh, I forgot. That's how it was.
Where were you born, Mr. Boy?
Huh?
Where were you born?
I was born at little old place, country town, about like Euclid, Tennessee. It's about like Cullioke is now, I guess, or something like that.
Y'all came to Texas when you were an infant.
I came to Texas when I was 13 months old.
13 months
December 1904. We made our first crop here in 1905.
Y'all traveled across the country in the middle of winter with you and 13-month-old infant?
Yeah, well, we came on trains.
Oh.
Oh, there's a train?
What?
You mean there was a train in 1905 from?
Oh yeah, trains run all over.
I didn't know that.
Tennessee and Kentucky and Texas. Texas, the same railroads at Midlothian. The were when we come here.
Well, that's right now, because this line came through Dallas and Richardson and so forth about the turn of the century, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit before.
Because I know.
It's the same one that comes through Allen, you know.
See, Richardson was a stagecoach depot over there off of Forest Road, you know, and it moved up to the railroad crossing when the railroad came through, and that was.
The town did?
Yeah, it was around.
Where was it on Forest Road?
Oh, it wasn't Forest. It was, if you remember, I doubt you do, where Valley View runs across the south edge of Wrestling, you know?
Yeah. Valley View running across the south edge of
Wrestling on Highway 5, you know where that intersection is?
Yeah, it's Walnut.
Okay.
From Garland,
You go about 3/4 of a mile east of there, and you crossed Abrams, and then Abrams Road made a 9-degree elbow sweeping turn there. And there was a big board-up clump of trees right there.
You better lay him down,
That
Gary.
was Breckenridge right there.
I don't remember all that.
I'll feed him one.
Well, see,
Yeah, that road was changed since you was born, Gary.
Was Richardson named after a man, Richardson?
yeah, he was a railroad man.
We got on the train at Westmoreland, I guess. It went north up at the Kentucky piece, about middle Tennessee. And I've forgotten where it was, but we had to stop and lay over at one place away for a while, and my oldest brother was 12 years old, and he walked in his sleep. And everybody went to sleep in the depot there, Mom and Dad and my 2 sisters. Woke up, he wasn't around anywhere. And they got to looking and directed his arm coming in from down the tracks about 200 yards away. He woke up, you know, and come back.
Was that Arthur?
Arthur, yeah.
This little town in Tennessee, do you know what county it was in?
Macon County.
Macon County.
That was the county seat.
See, my ancestors came from Blount County, Tennessee.
What county?
Blount.
What's the county seat, you know?
Marysville.
Yeah, that's on east of there, isn't it?
Yeah.
We were right in the divide of the kind of the flat land and the mountains. Cumberland Mountains started just about where we were and went on east, and then Nashville. It was about 50 or 60 mile, a little bit northeast of Nashville.
You see, my third great grandfather homesteaded there off Aldea in 1849, or 45, excuse me, 1845. And he came from Blount County, and this last, 2 years ago I was up there. I went to the county seat and looked up the deed records, and I found his name where he owned property there in Blount County, and all his predecessors. It was pretty interesting.
We were, of course, we were in a tobacco country. It was tobacco country. That was the money crops, just like cotton was when we moved to Texas. And Dad, he'd been here, and when he was about 16 or 17 years old, he came here one summer to work. And let's see, that would have been about about 83. And he liked it so well, he worked down south of Waxahachie and Blackland County, was around Ellis County, right in the middle of it. And so, and he had some of my mother's folks lived down there at Milford then. And then I had there's 3 of Mother's brothers, and was already here, and her daddy was here before we came. And so we moved in with them for one crop, and then we rented a place right by them for the next crop. And the first year he was here, he had 16 acres of cotton and made 16 bales.
That's a big bunch of cotton, wasn't it? Didn't have boll weevils in those days?
No, not to mount anything. And of course he made enough money off that 16 acres to buy a team of mules for a 1-team crop. And he worked a while and got 2 teams with a little bit more land.
Well, when did they buy the place out east of Allen and move up here?
Huh?
When did y'all buy the place east of Allen?
We bought it in 1917.
Your dad bought
We didn't move it up here in 1918.
So you spent...
Yeah, the first year that we bought the place, that was in 17, and that was about the time the war was going on, World War I. My brother was already over in Germany. And on that 70 acres, of course, there were no other things in cotton, but cotton was high. He got about around $1,800 to $2,000 rent off of that place. And I thought, well, we'll move up there, there won't be no time, so we'll be rich. The first year we was here was in 1919. It rained all the time. Cotton got near as high as this ceiling. We made 3 bales of cotton.
Norman Gidney, you know him.
Yeah.
Norman told Mike that right over here, where you make the job going to the Chambersville place, that some fella had farmed that land and had everything that he had in cotton in that bottom, cleared it and all, and it started raining, and it kept on, and it flooded it, and said they found him sitting down in one of those little buildings down there. He shot himself with a shotgun, killed himself.
Do you remember his name?
No.
When was this now? A long time ago?
Yeah, it's been years and years ago.
We've had 2 or 3 wet years. It could have been most, and I've forgotten when Harris got a hold of this place where you got now. That's old Otha Harris place. And my sister and Otha's sister were good friends. They worked in the church together a whole lot. They met, but I never did meet Otha Harris. I don't know whether she had any more sisters. I don't think. They had a big house in Melissa that finally burned down. And I measured in the 40s. I measured some of this land when I was measuring around in about AAA days. But I don't think I ever met him. But at that time, it was one time that he really had all that place fixed up, all that building.
They say he was quite a farmer.
But they say that he's got his name they, they, somebody said one time that if he had a dime when he died, he wanted to put it in the grave with it because he didn't want anybody to get anything he had.
Well, you know, he had big scales over there, and they say he sold seed grain for all the farmers, you know, kind of like the feed mills and stuff.
Did his family still have it when Mr. Owen bought it?
Yeah. Mr. Owen took title directly from him after his death. It was sold by a receiver, I think.
I don't think he was ever married, was he?
I don't know.
Don't much believe it was.
That was when back in,
He might have been.
In the 60s sometime. Mr. Owen said that he had a lot of old vintage cars sitting up on blocks in those barns that hardly had even been used.
You still got your G John Deere?
Uh-huh.
You sell it?
I don't know, it's not worth much.
Well, that's the reason I want to buy it, maybe.
which John Deere, where you have John Deere?
That one up there at Fannin County was talking
There,
about.
after I was sitting out there, you know, that old big...
Oh, yeah. Mike said that somebody donated a John Deere, no, not John Deere, it was Farmall, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? Anyway, they donated a tractor to the farm museum. Was he still using it? He had this.
I think so, yeah.
For his garden, he had the old iron spoke wheels on it.
Yeah, I think so.
Still, he was using it in his garden. I remember the day you put rubber tires on your John Deere.
Well, you drill them.
78. The music is a march composed by Earl Mattei, band director, especially for the dedication of the school. The first person is James Marion, principal of Roundtree Elementary School and son-in-law of Alton Boyd.
On behalf of the family, we're grateful for this tremendous turnout. We're sorry that we did not make adequate plans so that everyone could be seated. We had no idea that it'd be such a huge crowd. Let's all bow in a word of prayer. Oh, gracious Father, we're thankful for the many blessings Thou hast brought our way. We would ask that each and every thought, word, and deed be in keeping with Thy will tonight. May it be in the same theme and thought for which this occasion is planned. We ask these things in Christ's holy name. Amen.
I wish they'd turn the light off up here, you know. It's kind of helped the situation some. My part on the program is to recognize special guests we have here this evening. Some of you are new in our community, have not had the opportunity of knowing these two gentlemen, but they at one time served as superintendent here at Allen School. Our special guests are Mr. W.H. Pete Mosley and his wife, Ruth, who served as superintendent here from 1942 to 51. We also have the other superintendent, Mr. Gene Curtis and his wife, Betty. Gene served here from 51 to 54. And they all served under Mr. Boyd. Mr. Boyd made the comment early this evening that he can understand why people retired while he was on the school board here. So, if at this time, if these two gentlemen would like to make a comment, I know I had a request made earlier. If they spoke over 5 minutes, we're going to the gong show. So, in other words, if any of them speaks over that, so you know what the gong show you have, or where of it. So, Mr. Mosley, if you'd like to make a few comments, we'd be happy for you to do so. Then Mr. Curtis after Mr. Mosley. Mr. Mosley.
I want to reminisce, but I wouldn't talk over 5 minutes. I was reading about Dr. Elliott, former president of Harvard University, and someone asked him when he was 88 years old what was the secret of his successful life and happiness, and he said, calm temperament and expectant of good. When I read that, I thought of, that's Alton Boyd. Calm temperament, expectant of good. Optimistic gentleman. You know, someone has said, optimism is a faith that leads to achievement. That's Alton Boyd. Faith that led to achievement. One thing, main thing that I know about Alton Boyd, someone has said that the people who influence you are people who believe in you. Alton Boyd had me feeling that I was a pretty good schoolman and superintendent till Gene Curtis came along. And I began to find out that I wasn't such a great superintendent. In a few years, I really found out that I wasn't a very good superintendent when Lee Roundtree came along. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this to compliment you. When I came to Allen back in the days gone by, there was one light down on Main Street. But there's one thing that stands out and makes Allen successful. It made it successful back in the days gone by. It's still successful. And that is the type of people. I commend you on your great work and commend you for the people that you've had. And as I said a minute ago, I think proof of the fact that you have grown is the fact that someone believed in you. Thank you very much.
I count it a privilege this evening to have the opportunity to speak a few words of testimony and honor and recognition of Alton Boyd, one that we honor tonight in dedicating this fine educational facility. I can reminisce also here in Allen, having been born here and attended the Allen schools, and then having had the opportunity to come back and teach and serve as superintendent of the Allen Independent School District back in the early 50s. Of course, during the time that I was a student here, in 1936, Mr. Boyd was elected to the Board of Trustees, and as I look at my own educational experience here in this community, to me, there was always a lot of pride that we had in the school, and recognizing that we didn't have a large school, but we always felt that we had a good school. And I think this feeling stemmed largely on the part of those who made the school possible and furnished the leadership. And I know leadership came from an untiring source in Alton Boyd down through the years. And through his leadership and through the optimism and the attitude that he had toward the community and the school, I know it was an inspiration and encouragement for a lot of young people just like myself. And when I received the call that you were going to honor Mr. Boyd here this evening, it was on Monday night, and I'd had a case of strep throat and so on. I'd been up kind of like some other superintendents, watching the weather late at night, listening to the latest forecasting, and getting up early the next morning to see if it's going to do what they said it was going to. But I said, well, I know it's a pretty good trip for me to make and go back, tonight to my place of work. But for Alton Boyd, I would do that. And certainly, I know those of you that have worked with him here in recent years have found him to be just like those of us that knew him in days gone by. Tremendous person, a tremendous believer in education. And the United States of America is the only nation that has ever tried to educate all of its people. And it's through the dedication and the hard work and labor and toil of people like Alton Boyd that we come here tonight to recognize and to honor that makes it all worthwhile. And I know I share Mr. Mosley's sentiments in commending you and your efforts here to provide fine educational facilities and a good school system. And I brag on Allen wherever I go. I'm proud to be a native of Allen, and I want you to know that those of us that come back from time to time, we observe the progress, and we keep up with the progress. And we want you to know that we commend you for your efforts here, and these youngsters up here a while ago sing this song in dedication of the building here tonight. I know this will be a remembrance that they'll carry on into the future. And again, it's a privilege and pleasure to be here this evening. Thank you.
Since they have made their speeches, I'll finish telling about Mr. Mosley. When he left Allen in '51, he became county superintendent of Collin County. He served in that capacity until about 58. Then he became superintendent of Prosper until about 2 years ago when he retired. And now he's living on this great salary of ours, $150 a month. But Mr. Curtis is now superintendent at Weatherford, and you can see when he made the statement that he had some distance to travel to come tonight and paid respect to Mr. Boyd. Well, you can see what he was having reference to. And we appreciate both of them for coming, and also their wives for being present. Now, some of you who have moved into our district recently, and like Mr. Mosley and Mr. Curtis was reminiscing a little, when I arrived in Allen in 1954, we had 7 teachers, including myself. I taught 5 classes, I coached, and also superintendent. Now we have 98 professional personnel in our school system, and this has all come about in the last 4 or 5 years. I feel like by 1982 that Allen would be a 3A school, and probably in '86 would be a 4A school. So you see the problems of growth that this school district is facing, and I know there's no reason to doubt that the challenge will not be met. It has been proven in the past, and I'm sure it shall continue. Before we have a dedication, I would like to read a prayer that was written by William DeWitt Hyde, and I think it's very appropriate this time, and it applies to everyone who has been involved or connected with Allen Independent School District. It says, "Dear Heavenly Father, give me clean hands, clean words, and clean thoughts. Help me to stand for the hard right against the easy wrong. Save me from habits that harm. Teach me to work as hard and play as fair as in thy sight alone. And if the whole world saw, forgive me when I am unkind, and help me to forgive those who are unkind to me, and keep me ready to help others. And I think that's very appropriate for our community and for the Allen Independent School District, and especially people like Mr. Alton Boyd. So at this time, I would like for y'all to recognize our current school board members. They're all sitting right here, I believe, in the front row. We have Pat Dillard, who is a member of the board. Mr. Howard Snyder and his wife Peggy is here. Mr. Jim Kerr and his wife Carolyn. And Mr. Bill Beatty, Dr. E.T. Boone, Jerry Carson and his wife Jane. So I'd like if we had the lights just a second, I'd like for you to stand up and let the people recognize you and give you a round of applause. And now we will have the president of the school board, Mr. Ward Paxton, and his wife, Pat. Mr. Paxton will come now and give the dedication address for the evening. So, Mr. Paxton.
Alton, you sure draw good. I'll tell you that for you. I think that more than anybody could say here this evening that the extremely large turnout says the things that we'll try to say with the few words that we have. It is always a tremendous opportunity, and it's an exciting time for us to come here this evening for the dedication of this building. We're coming here this evening to pay tribute to a truly great man, one of the greatest men that I've had the opportunity to know. It's very appropriate, I think, that we're having the dedication this evening, the date that we remember a great American, George Washington, that we refer to as the father of our country, because in many ways Alton Boyd is the father of our school district. Through the early years, and if you listen to some of the stories about the trials and tribulations of Allen School District during the time that Alton was on the school board and president of the school board, you could really appreciate the contributions that he's made. But Alton's contributions are certainly more than the efforts he made on the school board and for the school system. They're more than the contributions he's made to our city. They're more than the contributions that he's made to the other activities that he's been involved with. His greatest contributions are the individual relationships between he and all the other people in the community. When we first moved to Allen 13 years ago, Alton Boyd was one of the first Allenites that we met and learned to love. His dedication is so significant to the things that he's involved with that words can't express the contributions that he's made. His dedication and his commitment is basic. He's always available to do whatever needs to be done. Alton has a long list of accomplishments and contributions, and I'm not going to try to enumerate them for you this evening. But I think the most significant thing is that Alton hasn't retired. He's still active. He still contributes more every year. He still is interested in the school and the city and the other civic endeavors as he ever was. And I think that we that know him will count on his continued contributions in the future. I'm going to just read a little bit the resolution that you found in the insert of your program this evening. This resolution was entered into the minutes of the February meeting of the Board of Trustees. And I just want to point out a few of the highlights. Alton has been in Allen for 65 years. He was a student in Allen schools from 1914 to 1920 when he graduated. He was a member of the Allen School Board
from 1936 until 1963. That's 27 years. He was president of the Allen School Board from 1946 to 1961. That's 15 years. And after retiring from the Allen School Board, he served as the Cullen County School Board from 63 to 75, or another 12 years. Be it therefore resolved that we, the members of the Board of Trustees of the Allen Independent School District, desire to recognize Alton Boyd for his service to the community and schools, his devotion and support to his family, and his stature as friend and outstanding citizen by naming the elementary school located at Bethany and Jupiter Roads in his honor as the Alton Boyd Elementary. And by noting that this building will stand at present and in the future ready to give aid and comfort to students, just as in the past and at present as Alton Boyd. This picture, this portrait will hang in the entryway of the building as you come in to commemorate the fantastic contributions that Alton Boyd has made to this school and this community. I hereby dedicate this school to Alton Boyd.
hot dog before I can find it out. And after 3 years of not ever being able to find anything really bad with Alan. When this job came over, and I just, sure we got problems. You know, every some of these but as we told, that's why I'm here. And I believe it. And that's why I'm still here. I usually change places, jobs every 2 years. And know it because I believe in it. But that all-American image, Chamber of Commerce, you went to a survey and a study on the city of Allen and how the people in the world feel about Allen. One of the things that came up number one was the city. So the chamber, everybody, the chamber and everyone has, when they say come to Allen, they can't say come to Allen because we have things to do that. If they can't say come to Allen because it's shopping, and just walk out the door and go a block away and decide. That's not. Come to Allen because it's a restaurant. That's not true. Come to Allen because of recreational facilities. So the only thing that the city has to support is growing and having plans. What we're working on right here. One thing we do, one thing we have done is we have made a commitment to keeping what's called a neighborhood concept of building. We will never have an elementary school that has more than 5 buildings. We will never do what Marion has done and have 3,000 kids who graduate from 12 average school sign, high school signs will always be right in, never over 8. That means building. That means a lot of money. That means you're always in trouble with somebody. People have actually come to me and said, why are you doing this? Allen is not growing, it's inflation. And I guess what they do is they drive to work in Dallas, they come home and they go to their home and they never drive around in their apartment. Over Ford Middle School, you know, the vacant areas over there. Fox and Jacobs called us the other day. Now, stop and think about this. Fox and Jacobs and United Homes, and there's one other that's working on anyhow, they called and said, we're going to have our grand opening. We need to match what schools is within. Okay, I'll do that. How many need? Oh, about 500. Okay. What are you doing in that area? They said, oh, well, within the next, let you know, just by the way, within the next 3 years, in that area around Ford, 7% Now, keep in mind, 1.3 kids per home, and when we're above average, you're talking a lot of kids we're going to have to put in. So we're having to work now to sell the community that we have to go and grow. We have to do. And that's what it boils down to. We've got to get something. What we're going to do is hope and pray that what we have, that's word of mouth. We have 6 executives, 6 corporate simply because when they came down, somebody said, well, check out Allen in the house. And they came and they said, oh, yeah, the school's great. And these people that are driving 2 hours a day, kids from work, their kids in private schools because they're public schools, so they aren't sorry. They lock kids in the rooms between classes. And that's not true. That's not it. So we're selling ourselves. What we're having problems doing is getting out the word about teaching. We're growing, and we're not able to pay what a school district pays. There's no reason for a teacher to come here because it's smaller, because the teacher is somewhere else. You don't make the same amount of money, you got the same hassle as you do in a big city, so what's the difference? So that's what we're looking at. What we're looking at is, one brochure I put out is, you'll catch on to this. It's gray, it's blue, it's real fancy script, and it says, someone told you that by you coming to Allen, you will be the most important person in this district, in this city. You will be looked at as one of the important people. And that kind of click, especially when around the rest of the world are saying teachers are stupid, teachers are illiterate, teachers shouldn't be in the classroom. And we come in and say, hey, you're the most important person in the district. That's what we're trying to do, is that feel good. That's what we're trying to do. Right now, we're doing things, we're getting perks over money. Leadership roles, garbage like that, they won't last long. So now we're having to look at other garbage that have repackaged. A lot of garbage is overgrown. It comes from tax dollars. They set up a budget. I have to, right now, I'm setting up a budget for next year. Having to keep in mind that we're opening another school, that we're growing, the postage stamps, price of postage is going up, and I have to keep it in a certain limit. It's still responsible. So right now, I'm working on a budget for next year. What people let me throw you out another statistic that we work with. When Allen is completely grown out, school district, look what's happened to Plano, Richardson areas.
So this would be like, by the time they put it right now,